The baker who baked thunderstorms. In the mist-wrapped village of Windlewick, where the hills whispered secrets to the clouds and the cobblestone paths curved like rivers of stone, there stood a crooked little bakery with a golden sign that read, "The Crust and Cloud." It was owned by Eliot Crumb, a baker with a flour-dusted beard, hands as warm as oven bread, and eyes like stormy tea. Eliot had inherited the bakery from his grandmother, who'd whispered odd sayings as she kneaded dough like, "A sprinkle of spice might summon the skies," and "Never bake on a full moon with nutmeg." Dear, Eliot always thought she was just being poetic. But as it turns out, she wasn't. Eliot was a brilliant baker. His lemon tarts seemed to make the daisies bloom brighter. His blueberry muffins left people sighing dreamily under drifting clouds. And his cinnamon rolls, served only on Saturdays, made the weather oddly breezy and cheerful, like spring had snuck in early. But Eliot never paid attention to such coincidences until the Stormy Scone incident. One dreary Tuesday, Eliot decided to test a new recipe, black pepper and cheddar scones. Unusual? Yes. But Eliot was feeling bold. As the scones began to rise in the oven, the skies outside darkened as if dusk had skipped ahead. A low growl of thunder rolled across the village. Eliot said, raising an eyebrow. Just then, Mrs. Weatherby, the village's self-declared expert on everything, walked in for her morning treat. "Got anything new today?" she asked, squinting over her spectacles. Eliot handed her a steaming pepper scone. She took one bite. Crack boom! Lightning shattered the calm sky, striking the weather vane on the church tower. Mrs. Weatherby blinked. Her gray curls stood out like a lion's mane. "Was that me?" Eliot stared at the scone. "I think it might have been me." Curious and slightly alarmed, Eliot began experimenting. He baked honey croissant sunshine burst through the fog. He added fresh mint to chocolate cake. School breezes danced through the alleys. A generous dusting of nutmeg brought an unexpected autumn chill. He scribbled notes into a little leather journal, titled "Pastry Forecasting, the Weather Within the Whisk." Soon, the villagers caught on. By the end of the week, the bakery queue stretched down the block. People clutching umbrellas and sunglasses, depending on their order. 2 sunshine tarts. Please me, laundry needs drying. 1 misty shortbread, I'm planting cucumbers. A romantic flurry for my proposal? Whispered a bashful young man. Eliot obliged them all, becoming Windlewick's unofficial weathermancer. But magic, like baking powder, works best in small amounts. Too much, and things rise out of control. One day, Eliot accidentally spilled an entire jar of crushed ghost peppers into a dough mix. Unwilling to waste it, he baked it anyway, calling it Devil's Crust. The moment it hit the oven, heat shimmered in the air. The sky turned orange. A fiery whirlwind spiraled up from the fields. "Fire Nato!" someone yelled. Villagers ran for cover as chickens were blown sideways and scarecrows caught fire. Panicked, Eliot tossed lavender into the batter for a calming loaf. The tornado vanished, but so did the clouds. The sky turned blank white. No sun, no night. Just eerie, motionless light. The world fell silent. Birds stopped chirping. Dogs refused to bark. Even the river forgot to ripple. For 2 days, Windlewick held its breath. When the sky finally returned, the villagers gathered in front of the crust and cloud. "Eliot, we love your pastries," said Mayor Bumble. "But weather should be a gift, not a gamble. We need balance, not Buffett-style forecasts." Eliot nodded solemnly. "You're right. I've been baking like a storm chaser with a whisk." He shut the bakery for a week. He read old weather books, studied ingredients, experimented with smaller batches, and then he returned. When Eliot reopened, he presented something new, the weather menu. Cloudy crullers, for gentle shade on hot days. Sunny marzipan tarts, guaranteed golden glow. Rainy rhubarb scones, for gardens in need. Snowberry pie, sweet flurries for holidays. Lightning macarons, a jolt of energy, literally. Breezy brioche, for kite-flying afternoons. Eliot explained that he would now bake only one weather per day, based on what the village truly needed, not what everyone wanted. The villagers respected this. They began to plan their weeks around Eliot's menu. Weddings were scheduled on sunny tart Saturdays. Farmers coordinated with rainy scone Thursday. Children waited eagerly for snowberry Sunday. The village thrived. Years passed. Children grew up knowing that Eliot Crumb didn't just bake with flour baked with the sky. His journal became legend. Travelers came from far-off places to see the bakery, with the weather vane shaped like a whisk. Eliot grew older, his beard as white as sugar, but his hands remained steady. One evening, he told a young apprentice, "Baking is a bit like the weather. You don't control it, you learn to respect it, and maybe give it a nudge in the right direction." And so, in the crooked little bakery of Windlewick, the skies stayed kind, the clouds stayed curious, and every loaf, tart, and bun carried a whisper of wonder, all because of the baker who baked thunderstorms. Subscribe my channel, and comment below your ideas about story.